this is something that I've dreamed about for so long. I didn't think I could do it, but I'm so happy that Amma was there with me all along. My friends, my family.
We are declaring a state of emergency in Victoria under the Public Health and Wellbeing Act. That state of emergency
when lockdown
will be
was announced,
12
we just got back into Melbourne. We were originally supposed to be in Auckland for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
For a little while, yeah. So we went for lash training, and then we wanted to, be tourists back in our homeland, I guess. But that was cut short because the borders closed and we kind of were in a panic. So we're like, oh, let's just go back home. Our girls are there, so LashFix, Port Melbourne was still open at that time. We're like, we need to get home. We need to see what's gonna happen.
When everything happened, I was like, I didn't know. I was like, I felt like it was a movie.
Yeah.
We were so excited. We were finally like, yay, we get to go to New Zealand. Because every time we go back, we usually go back for a weekend. So I was like, this time we booked a hotel. We usually stay with family, but this time we actually booked a hotel. Stayed at a really nice one too, and we hired a car and we were gonna go. We had no plan. We were just gonna jump in the car and drive up north, and show the kids New Zealand, because they were pretty much raised here in Melbourne. So I was like, yay, we get to do that stuff, just swim all day, have no structured days. It was just like wake up, swim, eat fish and chips and chill. But we couldn't do that. It was really sad. The kids were so confused, but I didn't want to scare them too much. They were just like, oh my god, COVID-19, COVID-19.
Corona.
Yeah.
Coronavirus.
And at that time, I didn't think we were going to close the salon down. I was just like, what the heck? The girls were messaging saying clients were just cancelling. So fully booked day, it was like call after call after call. And I was just like, oh my gosh.
I guess the biggest thing was having to let the girls go away, because we let them go quite early. As soon as we knew that we're on lockdown and beauty couldn't open, we had to break it to them, because we did tell them oh, we're just closing because we can't operate. And then after talking to some of our close friends and family, we had to break it to the girls. That was
hard.
Yeah. We all cried on the Zoom.
Yeah.
And I think that was the worst part, is that we had to let them go over Zoom.
Yeah, that was hard. But we had to also let them go and do what they need to do as well. If they needed to look for a job, or because we just didn't know what, we don't have a time frame. I think it would be different if we knew we're going to open again. So if we closed March 26th, but they said that everything will reopen again in April, at least we could be like, okay, cool, okay, this is the plan until then. But when it come, we just didn't know how else we could make money, we were the first industry to close, beauty,
and the last to open.
Yeah, so there's nothing much, you can't really put somebody's eyelashes on through Zoom. It's just, you can't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and another thing, I think also if we were still in the lease, I think we
probably would have just had to write it out.
Yeah.
And stay.
And do something. But because that was ending, we had to really sit down and weigh up the pros and cons and make sure that we make the right decision. And at that time, I didn't want to close. I was like, no way, like we're just getting started. Like we finally, like, you know, when you open something new, and it's kind of rocky, then we finally found our feet. People finally knew who we were. We had like a lot of local clients, like local, knew who we were. So
I've been coming to LashFix for about 7 months now. It took me a long time to find somebody who could do a job as good as they do here.
We built like some friendships as well. We formed really strong friendships. And so I was like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna say to them? I still to this day haven't talked to some of them because I didn't know how to say goodbye. I regret it, but I hopefully will see, you know, them again one day. Makes me sad. I'm gonna cry. Clients reaching out to us that I never thought would reach out to us.
They were so nice. Like
They were so proud of us. My dad saying you can do it. Mass saying you can do it.
I will follow you and follow you and follow you. Yeah.